Morning, we're learning more details about a state trooper arrested and accused of some serious computer crimes. Channel 3 Eyewitnesses reporter Marcy Jones is live outside of the New Britain court where the officer will face a judge. Marcy, this is a hot mess. What exactly is this trooper accused of?
Good morning. Yes, it is a little confusing to follow. So Trooper Mitchell Paz is accused of allowing his girlfriend to access sensitive police information about her ex. Now, all three of them will face a judge about their alleged computer crimes. According to Paz's arrest warrant, he allegedly allowed his girlfriend, Amanda Marino of Terryville, to access unauthorized information in the state police's record system. The information gathered was related to a 2022 case of Marino's ex, Sean Roca, with whom she shares a child with, regarding pending drug and weapons charges. During an investigation, state police allegedly witnessed Marino driving a vehicle registered to Trooper Paz, leading to the discovery that the two were in a relationship. In January, investigators received evidence that Marino allegedly accessed information about Roca's arrest from the state police laptop in Paz's cruiser and relayed them to Roca. That could help him and hinder the ongoing investigation.
Departmental computers and systems contain a lot of sensitive information on ongoing investigations, on past investigations that may in fact be dangerous to have it released to anyone.
Trooper Paz has been suspended with pay and will face a judge on March 29th. Reporting live in New Britain, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Marcy. Now to